Drake, Aiden Ross, Togi, they're all scamming you, and most people have no idea. Those massive wins, the $1 million bets, the codes in their bio, that is all a ploy just to get you to gamble. You're not watching them win, you're watching people get paid to make you gamble more. Think about that. Before I get into the truth behind gambling and the marketing machine behind it, make sure you subscribe, because I don't want people to fall into the same trap that I did, where I gambled every day for years, getting up to 50 bets a day, to the stage that I'm at now where I don't gamble anymore. My last bet was April 16th, 2024. Here's how this all works. Every link in the bio, every sign up code, all of that, those guys are getting paid off of it. So they post a massive win, it goes viral, it gets everybody to watch, and then it convinces you to also want to bet, and probably bet outside of your means. It's like the idea of FOMO. You see Drake on Stake with all of his boys streaming the blackjack hands and live bets and all of that, and they go nuts when he wins. You have to remember, when Drake places a $1 million bet, it's not actually his money. Remember, every time he streams, there's a little logo for Stake in the bottom corner. He's getting paid by them to gamble big. And yeah, he's the most successful rapper, musician, whatever you want to call it, probably of all time, or top 5, I guess. He can afford to make $1 million bet and not sweat it, but he's not an idiot. That is Stakes money. Apparently it's a $100 million contract. I don't know. I say apparently, don't want to get sued by Drake, but he's convincing you to gamble. There's Aiden Ross that's streaming to millions of people, promoting gambling content, and a lot of those kids are underage. And they're probably gambling in one form or fashion. Like, I remember doing poker games with my buddies in high school. So it's making it cool to gamble. And don't get me wrong, I don't have a problem with gambling. I don't think it should be outlawed or anything like that, but there needs to be some reform, some type of restriction. The worst one out there, though, is Togi. This guy sucks. He does videos where he has a gambling addiction or talks about it, but then there's also videos of him where he says, well, if you want to hide your gambling, if you lose $500,000 in a night, just tell people that your house is worth 1.5 million instead of a million. That mentally tricks your mind into thinking you didn't actually lose 500 grand. Like, how disgusting is that? Because if you think about it, that is exactly what most gambling addicts do. They trick their mind into justifying gambling more and more and more until they don't get anything from it, and they don't have any money left, and they're in debt, and they lose their house, they lose their family. Like, it's preying on people. But the thing is, when he loses his money, it's not really his, because the gambling company or casino is paying him. And by the way, the more people he gets to sign up, the more he gets paid. So yeah, of course he's going to come out with all these videos and try and go viral. The guy's a clown. Like, he thinks it's a joke. He thinks it's funny. He doesn't live in the real world. The guy made a joke out of it and doesn't really realize that there's like everyday people that are struggling, not just financially, but whether or not they want to stay alive. And the guy's sitting there laughing. And then you have the idiots on Twitter that are selling their picks. Like, these guys are clowns. I remember during COVID, there's a few people that just blew up because they were the first people to bet on, like, I don't know, Malaysian basketball, because that was one of the only things going on at the time. And he's like, I'm on a heater. I'm hitting 80% in my last month. Like, buy my betting package and you'll guarantee that, you'll make X amount of dollars or whatever. And it's like, I forget what the number is, but to be a profitable bettor, you have to hit like 58% of your bets to account for the juice. And this guy's saying he's hitting 80%. But the funny part is, like, when I found out or realized that those guys were all scammers, the guy took a video of himself talking about his gambling, and he was in like a Toyota Camry. So if you're making this much money, why don't you just bet more yourself? Why are you convincing people to buy your pick package? Because it's a scam. Like, those guys will give out one side to half their followers and the other side to the other half. That way, some people are super happy, some people are super angry, and you can deny it. Most of them never post bet slips. 99.9% of the people that are selling picks online are scammers. There's maybe one or two that are actually legit, honest people. Probably not going to promote them or mention their names, but there's one or two out there that are actually good dudes. Or even if you think about it, like the Barstool guys, I think are pretty honest. Like, yeah, I don't love when Portnoy posts today that he won 190,000, I think, or bet 190,000, I forget, on the Northwestern Nebraska game. Yeah, that's not amazing, but he also talks about his massive losses. If you ask Big Cat or Portnoy about their gambling, they will tell you that they are down overall, like massively. I think Portnoy once talked about how he was going to file bankruptcy because of gambling losses at some point before he got rich. So at least they're honest about it. And I know Big Cat tweets about, like, damn, I haven't won a bet in 14 straight picks or something like that. And the other thing about that is they're not actually selling picks. Yes, they're incentivized to get you to gamble and whatnot, but they're pretty honest at least. Like, I can get behind that. But all of that connects back to people are taking advantage of you, and most people don't even realize it. They post these fake streaks, especially those guys on Twitter where they don't even have a name for themselves, like they're not a celebrity. They're just trying to get you to buy their $50 package and buy a subscription to Patreon. The goal ultimately isn't to show you gambling, it's to continue to get you to gamble. The amount of comments that I have on my social media, like on Instagram and TikTok, now the new thing is loot boxes. I barely even know what they are, but these bots will write out this long comment talking about how they totally resonate with everything I am saying, and then you should check out their page to see if you can win anything in their mystery box. It's like, what the hell? And the worst people of all time are the people that comment saying you're just a quitter, or I'm up big, like you're only one win away. It's not funny, it's not creative, it's not clever. I love a good troll, but the kicker or the real funny part about all of that is every single one of those guys that comments how much they're up, I say, hey, send me a DM with your win-loss statement from the app and I will post it on my story. Guess how many people have done it? Zero. Not a single one. They'll say, oh, I will send you my spreadsheet. Okay, buddy, as if anybody can't edit that. Oh, I'll send you a bet slip. Okay, you're going to send me the one bet slip that you actually won? Great. I don't really care. Or they'll comment back saying, I don't need to prove anything to you. Or I'm up, 20 units. Like one guy told me he was up 50 units and it was the third day of the month. Okay. Well, what about the other 11 months in the year? Like, give me a break. And you have to remember the psychology of it. It all hijacks your brain. It's all about dopamine. You see everybody else having fun, and I get it. It's hard being the person who can't gamble anymore. It's hard. You want to be a part of the action. You get stressed at work. You want to lay a bet and relax and watch the game, even though it'll be the most stressful 3 hours of your life. It still feels better because you can numb out. Totally get it. There's actually a really great movie about this. So it's called Two for the Money. Matthew McConaughey, Al Pacino, awesome movie. And I don't want to give out any spoilers or anything like that if you haven't seen it, but it really exposes like influencers or guys who sell picks, because the movie's sort of old. They didn't have Twitter influencers or anything like that back then, but just guys selling picks on hotlines, and this guy goes on a crazy streak and it all comes crashing down. Bottom line is, you cannot win gambling. Now, let me rephrase that. You can win, but very few people do. Vegas wasn't built on winners. It is built on people like me. Put it this way, Two for the Money walked so that all the Twitter influencers selling their picks could run. So when you see celebrity influencers or Twitch streamers talking about gambling and promoting all of that, think a little bit harder. Think what's going on here. You're going to see a casino logo. You're going to see a link in bio. They're going to promote some sign-up bonus or code. They are getting paid by those companies to get you to gamble, and don't ever forget that. And look, again, not everybody posting their plays is doing it to sell picks. Some are just doing it for fun, and that's all well and good. Not everyone out there in the gambling industry is evil, but a large majority of them are preying on you. And a large majority of them are getting paid by sports books and casinos to go viral, create content, and get you to use their code to sign up. Remember, the system is designed for you to lose. Don't be their content, don't be their product anymore. If you want to gamble, gamble on your own. Again, if this hits home for you, make sure you subscribe. I'll continue to expose the curtain behind gambling if you're trying to break free from it. And if not, hopefully you just find these videos entertaining and relevant.